Hello everyone and welcome back. This is your commentator for Gym 1, Mary by Huking, here at the 2023 USABA Southeast Regional Goalball Qualifier in Smyrna, Georgia. We are beginning day 3, our final day of competition, with our women's semifinal matches. These will be taking place concurrently in Gym 1 and Gym 2. And in this gym we will see the Honeybees versus the Minks. Rosters for the Honeybees are number 4, Amanda Dennis, number 3, Lisa Chakowski, number 2, Jenna Tiberi, and number 1, Brittany Breen. For the Maryland Minks, we have number 9, Siobhan Lockhart, number 7, Rebecca Lavasser, 6, Bridget Cassidy, 4, Brianna Pumphrey, and number 1, Tori Bounds. Should be a great start to the day here. I think we may be looking at a slight delay in starting, just making sure we have enough people staffed on the court. So we will rejoin you at the start of this match. All right, and it looks like we are about to start this match. For the Honeybees, looks like they'll be starting with the ball. On right wing, we have number 4, Amanda Dennis, 2, Jenna Tiberi in the center, and 3, Lisa Chakowski on left wing. For the Minx, we have number 9, Siobhan Lockhart on right wing. Looks to be number 4, Brianna Pumphrey in the center, and number 6, Bridget Cassidy on the left wing. This game will determine who will move on to the women's final later today in this gym and who will compete for the bronze in Gym 2. Honeybees to start with the ball. Dennis with the first shot from the right wing gap. Ooh, goes straight gap, but it's going to be a long ball for the first shot of this match. Dennis, known for her great ball read on penalty defense, will be facing Siobhan Lockhart. Out of the middle. Shoots it straight down, and it's going to be right in the center. A pretty easy block for Dennis. I have seen her absolutely dive off the court to cover the corner. And Dennis will take the ball again from the right wing post. Spins, cuts into the near gap. Missed by the center, missed by the wing. And that'll be first goal for the Honeybees. A great recovery by Dennis after that first penalty. Ball coming out of the middle. And blocked by Chakowski on left wing. Chakowski from the left wing gap shoots straight gap, kicked out by the feet of center. And Lockhart with the ball from the right wing post. Cuts into the near gap, popped over the feet of the center, and good recovery by Dennis on the back. Dennis with the ball from the right wing post. Cuts into the middle, goes for that same gap, just barely missing the center's hands. And it'll be an easy goal for Dennis there, wide open gap. Got a timeout for the Maryland Minx, with the Honeybees pretty quickly jumping on an open gap for the Minx. Still so early in the game here. And the Minx will figure out their shift, figure out how to cover some of those spots defensively. As you'll see with some of these teams, they will shift to the right or to the left of their starting point, depending on where their thrower down from them is set up from. So it really just may be a matter of the center shifting a little bit to her left, making sure that they can cover that. Center and left wing for the Maryland Minx have done a great job defending. Both of them are a little bit shorter, and speaking as a shorter athlete, you just have to compensate for that by pushing a little bit harder and getting that quicker dive into the gap. It'll be left wing with the ball, spins, and it's out. I believe that was left wing Bridget Cassidy, but forgive me, their jerseys are pretty hard to read from here. Dennis with the handoff to Chakowski. Chakowski from the right wing gap shoots for that same gap. This time, good coverage by center. Blocks that with her hands. And it'll be center. Number 4, Brianna Pumphrey with the ball. Goes wide to the left wing post. Chakowski with the block from her hands. Steps in towards the middle. Cuts it back into the left wing gap. Popped up by the legs of the left wing. And forward. Bounces off the center and recovered by left wing. Left wing. Number 6, Bridget Cassidy. Shoots straight down the line. Blocked by Dennis. Dennis from the right wing post. Cuts straight down the line. And it's in. That'll be the third goal for Dennis this game. Looking at a 3-0 lead by the Honeybees. And Lockhart will take the ball from left to right. Starting over the right wing gap. And goes back into the middle. Popped up and over by Tiberi. Good shot with some great velocity there by Lockhart. And good recovery by the Honeybees. Dennis from the right wing post. Angles into the middle. Number 4 with the block. Passed off to Cassidy on left wing. Cassidy from the left wing gap. Shoots straight gap. Quick return by Dennis here. Into the same gap. Popped up by left wing and back. And it's in. 4-0 for the Honeybees, with a substitution for their left wing. Out number 6, Bridget Cassidy. In number 9, Rebecca Lavasser. I haven't seen too much of Maryland playing, and when I did see them, they didn't have Siobhan Lockhart in a previous game. Lockhart with a great shot, especially her cut gap from the post into the near gap. We'll see how she's able to leverage some of her offensive power for this game to get some of these goals back. Looking at quite the deficit to dig themselves out of, but still so early in the game. And Lockhart with the ball. Out of the middle, goes wide to the left wing post, blocked out by Chakowski. Chakowski from the left wing gap, steps in towards the center, spins, and goes back into the right wing gap. Good coverage by center and right wing, with Lavasser on right wing. Lavasser, number 9, from the right wing post, goes full cross. Dennis with the block. Dennis from the right wing post goes straight line. Angles out just a little bit. And that'll be out, looks like, before their front line. With Siobhan Lockhart down from Dennis. She will step into the gap. Cross into the opposite gap. It's blocked over by Tiberi and kicked out by Dennis. Great backup save there. That was absolutely going in the goal. And Chakowski from the left wing post cuts into the gap. And ball over. Within defensive systems, we talk about primary, secondary, and your backup defense. Chakowski with the straight gap shot. And in those cases, the off wing, the wing who is least involved directly in the block of that play, will typically be standing up, ready to make a backup save at the back line. And that's exactly what we've seen Dennis do now twice to save 2 goals from going in. Dennis from the right wing post cuts into the near gap. Lockhart with the ball. Lockhart steps into the gap, into the middle. Solid block by Tiberi. Hands off to Amanda, who sweeps from the right gap to the left gap, goes into that near gap. Blocked forward by number 9, retrieved by center. Pass back to Lockhart. Lockhart from the left wing gap goes wide for the left wing post. Chakowski sweeps into the right wing gap, cuts back across to the feet of the center. Center with a solid block. And Pumphrey out of the middle. From the center, angles out to the left wing gap. Chakowski with the block, hands off to Dennis. Dennis from the left wing gap, cuts back into the middle. Blocked by the center, hands off to Lockhart on left wing. Lockhart from the left wing gap. Into the middle, blocked forward by Tiberi. Dennis, outside of the right post, shoots down the line. Good coverage by Lockhart there. And Lockhart with the ball. Steps into the gap. Shoots cross gap. Into the body of Chakowski. Chakowski from the left wing gap. Goes across the face of the center with a big bounce, popped over and pushed out by the hands of center, who angles that out. Lockhart from the left wing post. Angles to the middle. Tiberi with the block. Hand off Dennis. Dennis from the right wing gap. Big bounce into the middle. Popped up but recovered by center. Hand off Lavasser. Lavasser from the right wing gap. Goes straight gap. Blocked by the legs of Chakowski, who takes it from the left wing post. Shoots straight down the line. And blocked out. Good hands by Levasseur down there. Great line shot from Tchaikovsky on left wing. Still looking at 4-0 lead for the Honeybees, who got in several shots early in this game. Lockhart sweeps from right to left. And from the left post, cross angle into the opposite gap, blocked by Tchaikovsky. Handoff to Dennis. Dennis will take it from that gap. Goes same gap. Blocked forward by Levasseur and over. Possession will return to the Honeybees. Tchaikovsky with the ball. Calls for her center to move, but takes it from the left wing gap. Ooh, cuts back into the middle, across the face of the center. Blocked by the hands of center, pass to Lockhart, who takes it from the left wing gap, goes full cross, and blocked out by the arms of Tchaikovsky at her line. Tchaikovsky steps into the middle, spins to the right wing post, blocked by Levasseur. And number 9, Levasseur, with the full court cross, blocked by Dennis on the line, who sweeps around into the left wing gap, cuts back to the opposite gap, and it's wide open, bringing that score up to 5-0 for the Honeybees. Amanda with all 5 goals. And we'll see how Shea is able to respond. Shea from the left wing post goes into the near gap, blocked by Dennis, who quick returns at Lockhart. And Lockhart will take it from the left wing gap. Goes to the opposite gap. Blocked out by the feet of Tiberi. And Tchaikovsky from the left wing post. Ooh, cuts into the near gap. Great coverage by the Minx to close up some of those gaps on their right wing side. Levasseur will shoot down the line. Quick return by Tchaikovsky into the gap. Levasseur with the block. And off to Pumphrey in the center. Pumphrey will return back to the middle. Number 2, Tiberi with the block. Handoff Dennis from the right wing gap. Ooh, cuts it now into the opposite gap, and it's in. Honeybees up now 6-0. One thing that Amanda Dennis does a great job of is really varying her approach into her throw. Some players will have a pretty straight-on approach with their steps leading directly to where the ball will release from. And as far as tracking goes, as you're listening to a player's steps, it does give you a lot of information as to where you can generally expect the ball to go. You'll see players start to make movements towards that sound. You'll see some players start to get up if they are the off wing getting ready for some backup defense. And Amanda Dennis, with both an interesting approach to her throw and being left-handed, is a lot of the times able to kind of confuse players and redirects completely where her shot goes after her release. We've seen the Minx really struggle with that this game, moving towards the ball's original path and then being thrown off by where it actually ends up. And after this timeout, we have Tchaikovsky with the ball out of the middle. Goes wide to the left wing post. Out at the team line. Lockhart steps into the left wing gap. Goes into the middle. Blocked by Tiberi. Handoff Dennis. Dennis from the right wing gap. Cuts into the middle. And out of the center. Into the left wing gap. Jenna Tiberi just barely closing that gap last second. Pass off to Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky out of the middle. Goes wide for the left wing post. And out. 2:52 remaining in the first half of this women's semifinal match between the Honeybees on the near camera side and the Minks on the far camera side. We have an official timeout. Oh, and a quick one. Lockhart with the ball from the left wing gap. Goes straight into the middle. It goes underneath Jenna Taberi. Amanda Dennis just barely missing that on the backup save. And the Minks will make it on the board for the first time. And left wing, Czukowski from the gap. Shoots straight gap. Blocked forward by Levasseur. Levasseur cuts back into the middle. Taberi with the block. Hand off Czukowski. Czukowski with the full cross. Blocked up and out by Lockhart. Lockhart steps into the left wing gap. Cuts it back into the middle. Blocked forward by Taberi. Pass back to Czukowski, and it's going to be tossed out. Levasseur with the ball. Sweeps from right to left. And just left of center. Goes full cross. Into the left wing post. Great shot by Levasseur there. Love to see the creativity. Our national team players are pretty well versed and practice their court movement quite often. So awesome to see some of the other athletes start to join that trend and utilize that strategy. Lockhart now with the ball from the left wing gap. Goes cross gap. Blocked by the body of Czukowski. Czukowski just left of center. Spins and bounces into the middle. Ooh, almost missed by the center there, but good shoot into the gap. Last minute with her hands. Blocked by center. Passed off to Lockhart. Lockhart throws back into the middle. Popped over the hands of Taberi and recovered by Dennis. Dennis from the right wing gap. Ooh, goes cross gap. Pops up and forward on the legs of Pumphrey in the center. 1:23 remaining. Levasseur from the right wing gap. Full cross. Blocked by the arms of Dennis on the line. Dennis sweeps into the left wing gap. Goes cross gap. Blocked forward by the legs of Lockhart. And out. Levasseur from the right wing gap. Shoots into the middle. Forward and out by Taberi. And Dennis from the right wing post. Cuts into the near gap. Missed by the center. Missed by the left wing. And it's in. And the Honeybees, for their 7th goal of this game, leading 7-1 to the Minks. Lockhart from the left wing steps into the middle. Goes straight into the center. Ooh, jumped over by Taberi. Second one we've seen, but recovered by Dennis. Hand off to Czukowski. From the left gap, straight gap. Blocked by the feet of Levasseur in the gap. Who returns, straight gap. Czukowski with the block. Steps to the left of center. Big bounce across the face of the center. Great block by number 4, Brianna Pumphrey. And handoff to Lockhart, who goes wide to the right wing post. Dennis with the block. And return from the right wing gap back into the middle. Passed off from 4 to 9. And number 9, Siobhan Lockhart with the cross gap. Kicked over by the feet of Taberi. And it'll be a block out at the end of the first half in this women's semifinal match between the New Jersey Honeybees and the Maryland Minks. Honeybees currently lead 7-1. Honeybees with an early lead. Several shots going into the same spot between the center and the left wing. Following a bit of court movement by Dennis. And then Honeybees making pretty consistent progress throughout that half to continue pulling ahead. We'll see what the Minks are able to do in the second half. They have some pretty solid defense as well as a great offensive player in Siobhan Lockhart. They certainly have a lot of options. We'll just need to lock back down their defense and move Lockhart around to get as much variety within her shot as possible. They've certainly had a couple of scoring opportunities under center, Jenna Tiberi, who seems to be just mistiming a little bit of the skip shots coming from Lockhart. But when you have Amanda Dennis on the back line to back up the shot, they're not quite making it through. We will rejoin you for the second half of this women's semifinal match after halftime. And welcome back. This is the start of the second half between the New Jersey Honeybees on the near camera side and the Maryland Minks on the far camera side. Looks like no substitutions during that halftime. We'll see the same lineup back on the court. And the New Jersey Honeybees currently lead 7-1. The ball will drop in with Lockhart. Lockhart from the left wing gap. Big bounce into the middle. Blocked forward by Tiberi. Pass to Chakowski, who throws from the left wing gap. Straight gap. Blocked by number 9, Levasseur, who returns to the gap. Chakowski with the ball. Steps towards the center. Spins. Ooh, big angle on that. Cuts back and over in the opposite gap. In the gap with the left wing, between left wing and center. Great redirection by Chakowski there. And a lot of action stayed on that shot as it made its way down, bringing the score up to 8-1 for the Honeybees. Levasseur, number 9, from the right wing post, goes full cross. And dropping in with Dennis, number 4, from the right wing gap. Spins, cuts past the center. Ooh, and it'll go in the right wing gap just across the face of the center, bringing the score up to 9-1 for the Honeybees. Lockhart, number 9, from the left wing gap. Full cross, blocked out by the arms of Czakowski on the line. Czakowski steps into the gap. Spins, redirects the ball back into the middle. Blocked by center. And Lockhart with the ball from the left wing gap. Goes wide for the left wing post and out. Czakowski now with the ball, hands off to Dennis. Dennis from the left wing gap. Full cross, blocked by Lockhart in the left wing gap. And we've got a timeout for the Maryland Minks. And after that timeout, we have Lockhart with the ball from the left wing post. Will cut it into the near gap. Dennis with the block from the right wing gap. Cross gap. Blocked forward by the body of Lavasser. Retrieved by center. Pass back Lockhart. Lockhart from the left wing gap. Goes cross to the feet of the center. Tabiri with the block. Past Czakowski. Czakowski from the left wing gap. Goes wide to the right wing post. Ball dropping in on right wing. Lockhart over. Substitution for the Maryland Minks here. It will be out number 4, Brianna Pumphrey, in number 6, Bridget Cassidy. A great showing by number 4. With some great defense out of the center. We'll see what Cassidy is able to bring into the mix to help the Minks recover from this 8-1 deficit. We've got Lockhart on the left wing post. Steps into the gap. Into the middle. To Barry with the block. Dennis with the ball. From the right wing gap. Goes near gap. Blocked forward by Lockhart. Who takes it from that same gap, returns it to the near gap, blocked by Dennis. Quick return into the center. Great stop by the arms of Cassidy in the middle. And Cassidy with the spin out of the center. Angles into the right wing gap. Dennis with the block. Hands off Czakowski, who takes it from the left wing gap, shoots straight down. Lavasser with the block. From the right wing gap. Goes straight gap. Czakowski with the block. Spins, angles in towards the middle, blocked over by Cassidy, and out. And the Maryland Minks will just push the ball out, losing possession. as it returns to the Honeybees. Tchaikovsky is over on the right wing, collects the ball, sweeps back to the left, from the left wing gap, from the left wing line, cuts it into the gap. Good shot there. Quite a gap if she had moved it just a little bit deeper into the gap, but hit a lot of body right on the right wing line. And Cassidy out of the middle, spin bounce, ooh, completely missed by Tiberi. Dennis there to backup save in the left wing gap, returns it to the feet of the center. Blocked forward and thrown out by center. Substitution for the Honeybees here. Out number 3, Lisa Tchaikovsky. In number 1, Brittany Breen. Tchaikovsky with a lot of velocity on her shots this morning. Had a couple of close calls. Looks like Dennis might be moving over to the left wing. I wonder if she's going to stay there. Nope, moving back. I've played with Amanda Dennis a ton of times, and I know she's not a huge fan of left wing. And Breen will enter the court. She's going to take right wing. Okay, maybe Dennis is going to move over to the left wing. Yep, Dennis moving over to the left wing post. Cuts it into the near gap, pops up, hits the crossbar, pops down, and recovered. Close shot there. And Cassidy out of the center. Goes wide to the right wing post, kicked forward and over by the legs of Breen. Lockhart from the left wing post. Goes full cross, skip. Dennis with the block from the left wing gap. Steps to the left wing post, cuts into the near gap, blocked out and over on the opposite side. And dropped in with Lockhart on left wing. Lockhart from the left wing gap, crosses the feet of the center, blocked by Tiberi. Hand off to Dennis. Dennis takes it out of the left wing gap, crosses to the hands of the center. Pass to Lockhart. Lockhart with the ball. Shoots straight gap. Blocked by center. And Tiberi with a shot. Out of the center. Bit of a skip back into the middle. Blocked forward by center. Recovered by right wing. Right wing with a shot in towards the middle. Tiberi with the block. Hands off Breen. Breen from the right wing post. Goes full cross. Hits the post and it's in! Brings the score up to 10-1 for the Honeybees. Awesome post-to-post shot by Brittany Breen, number 1 of the New Jersey Honeybees. Lockhart steps into the middle. Throws into the center. Tiberi with the block. He takes it out of the middle. Goes wide for the right wing post. This time full coverage by right wing. Rebecca Lavasser. Lavasser from the right wing. Goes full cross. Blocked by Breen. Breen from the right wing line. Cuts into the center. Blocked over by the center and out. 5:54 remaining in the second half of this women's semifinal. And Maryland will have a timeout. The Honeybees currently lead 10-1 with a great shot by Breen. Those post and in shots. Always an amazing feeling as a player. because you know that the shot is as close as it can be to the line. It all comes down to angles, direction, and honestly, a little bit of luck. And Lockhart from the left wing post cuts into the near gap. Ooh, missed by the hands of Tiberi and blocked out by Amanda Dennis on the back line. And Dennis with a quick eye shade check. Great backup by her. Tiberi seems to have just hesitated with that block. Was moving towards it, almost went for it, paused, and that's where it kind of tipped through her hands. Dennis able to save that on the back line. For her, I believe, third backup save of this game. Dennis moves from the right to the left. Hits the right wing, pops on the top of the post, and it's out. Lockhart over. Oh, actually that is Cassidy out of the center. Spins, goes for the right wing post, blocked by the feet of Breen. And a substitution for the Honeybees, out number 4, Amanda Dennis. In number 3, Lisa Chakowski. Dennis having made a huge contribution to this game with several backup saves. Majority of the goals scored. Certainly deserves a rest before the Honeybees' final match of the game, of the day. And hands, ball in the hands of Breen from the right wing gap. Into the middle. Blocked by center. Cassidy in the middle. Angles into the right wing gap, blocked by the arms of Breen. Breen from the right wing gap. Straight gap. Blocked by Lockhart. And substitution for the Maryland Minx. I think there's some confusion down there. Oh, it'll be out number 8, Siobhan Lockhart. And in number 4, Brianna Pumphrey. Pumphrey coming onto the court. She will get the handoff of the ball. Oh, nope. Ball will stay in the hands of Cassidy in the center. Cassidy out of the middle. Spins into the right wing gap. Breen with the block. And ball will be over. Pumphrey from the left wing gap. Goes back into the middle. Blocked by Tiberi. Goes wide to the right wing gap. Levasseur with the block. Substitution for Maryland Minx, out number 9, Rebecca Levasseur. In number 8, Siobhan Lockhart. Coach Kelvin using all of Maryland's substitutions to get some shots set up here. Looks like they left the ball over on the with the right wing line judge. Oops. And the line judge passes the ball in to the all right. There was a delay of game penalty on Maryland, but declined by the Honeybees. They declined the penalty, which means that the ball will return to the Honeybees' possession. And Chakowski from the left wing gap into the right wing corner. Great shot by Chakowski there, blocked out by the feet of Lockhart. And Chakowski with the ball steps into the middle. Back into the center, blocked forward. And out by Pumphrey. Or Cassidy in the center. Lockhart with the block. Back into the middle, popped up by the center. Recovered by right wing, Breen. Breen from the right wing gap. Ooh, goes straight gap. Oh, and it's in. And that final shot will end the game 11-1, and the Honeybees will be headed to the women's final later today in Gym 1. Join us for our next game. The men's semifinal match. And we will rejoin you for that.